More on the privacy venue, we are talking about this time Dropbox. Seems there's a leak about 7 million passwords. Dropbox claiming it's not from them. Very well, it could be not from them, of course, but still 7 million passwords were leaked. Maybe it's coming from other databases or simply people using the same password on all their sites. And then they hack some other sites and they try the same passwords on Dropbox and see they're matching. So the key is when you're using different services online, have different passwords for different services. There's also a lot of talk about a Dropbox, if it is secure or basically everything you upload to Dropbox, the NSA, they can just walk into your account, see all your data. So the question to the user is if they dare to use Dropbox. There have been many other alternatives like the Mega we have from New Zealand, made by the famous ex-hacker Kimball that also made the Mega upload site, and they're claiming it is out of the US, it is NSA backdoor free and fully encrypted. So the question is, of course, if you can trust that. We have here also a story about in South Korea. They had the very large government ID system of all the citizens, had a very large data breach dating back to 2004. And they are now considering to remaking the whole system, costing billions of dollars. And of course, the question is, how can they be sure the new system will not be compromised as well? There's no guarantee for that, of course. We also have a story about a Russian, there seems to be a Russian spying hack going on for years called Sandworm, where they are simply spying on leaders in other countries using zero-day vulnerabilities in different types of software. This allowed them to spy, a little like the NSA, on the leaders in the different countries, what they are doing. Then we have a story about a FBI pays a visit to a researcher, 29-year-old consultant that revealed a vulnerability in Yahoo systems, and that could lead to compromise of Yahoo, WinZip and Lakers. And the problem is he revealed the vulnerability, but he also got into the servers to demonstrate it. And there can be a lot of talk about, if he's allowed to do that or if he's not allowed to do it. But the general rule is, it seems it's getting more and more dangerous today to reveal new vulnerabilities, since by revealing it you can be subject to some claims in the targets. Then we see here that Microsoft, they are putting out a lot of security updates, but many times they also have to withdraw the updates because they're simply breaking the systems. So again, when there's a new security update, you want it right away, but again, you also don't want to break your systems. So you always have to be a little cautious when there's a new patch, try and Google it, see if there's any complaints about it, any systems going offline by using it, and be very cautious. Even Apple had some recent updates that bricked some of the iPhones, and the first movers got hit in that regards. Now we are talking about many ways that average people are getting hacked. We have a list here about the 6 most common ways normal non-tech people fall victim and what you have to be very cautious about. First of all, it's the banking hacks. We had a lot of stories recently about banks being hacked, leaking millions of users' data. And a good caution is you check your bank account statement often and make sure there are no unauthorized transactions, things like that. Otherwise, contact your bank. Then there's a compromise about third-party apps like Snapchat, where people had nude pictures there and they got hacked and all the data got leaked. So always remember, as a general rule, never put anything online that cannot be subject to scrutiny, or that you don't have a problem about it if it gets hacked. Very important. Then there are a lot of phishing mails going on. You get an email, it looks like it's coming from eBay. I just getting some coffee here. It looks like it's coming from eBay, but of course it's a fake mail. You click it, you think it is eBay, you reset your password, but in reality they actually grab your username and password. So always be very cautious what you're clicking when it's coming in an email. There's also the old social engineering. Somebody can call in, pretend they are another person to reset the password and get in. Then we have a story about, for example, if they're just using bad passwords like 1234, their names or name of a city or name of famous people, easy to crack dictionary passwords. So always use complex passwords. We also have seen that many times a site gets hacked, just like, for example, Yahoo, and all the people visiting the site gets infected with malware. There was also recently a very large newspaper in Brazil where the same thing happening. So people visit the trusted site and getting infected with malware. Google, for example, they have the safe surfing going on where they can warn about sites you are visiting so people don't get infected. Then we have a story about Intel's Wind River crypto export. They got fined by the US government almost $1 million, $750,000 for exporting this encryption to China, Russia and Israel. So again, it really shows out the US government are not interested in others getting good encryption. We also have a story about in the Australian spook house busted for warrantless taps of people's phones, and that included civilian telecoms and things like that. And we are seeing in more and more countries warrantless taps are going on. They're spying on everybody. Everybody is spying on everybody, and everything is being tapped. So always remember, when you're in the public domain on the internet or talking on the phone, only say things that can be allowed to be tapped, because you never know who listens in. We also have a story about Facebook. They are doubling their advertising bug bounty. The minimum is $500, and then it increases depending on how big the vulnerability being found is. And the largest you can get now is $35,000. And so far, already $3 million have been paid out for people that found a lot of nasty bugs that we never hear about. We can also see in the reference to the latest SSL vulnerabilities, Apple releases a mega security patch round for OS X server and for iTunes, so make sure you are patched. And again, always when there's a new patch, you Google it a little, see if there's no problems with it, since there's no point you patch and then all your systems go down and you cannot serve your customers, of course. We also have a story about the UK being the #1 country under attack in Europe by malware. They're up to 17% infected in the UK, and on the second place is Germany with a 12% malware share. So it seems that UK is really under attack by malware. So that's the news for this week. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for more information please visit secpoint.com or secpoint.tv. Thank you.